This pond has had water in it for a few weeks, and it already has life that arrived on its own without anyone bringing it. We introduced over 15 species that will completely transform this pond. They are not decoration, they are foundation of everything that arrives after it, and what arrives after, we are not going to bring it ourselves. The pond already has water and it already has light. Dragonfly larvae on the bottom, mosquitoes on the surface, and the first fish, the Tanichthys albonubes, the White Cloud Mountain Minnows we already introduced. Light did not wait for an invitation. It arrived on its own as soon as there was water. But this ecosystem still incomplete. Without plants, the water quality is poor. Without plants, there is no shelter. Without plants, there is no biodiversity. And without biodiversity, the animal who wants to attract has no reason to stay. Today, that changes. Most people think animals create ecosystems. The reality is exactly the opposite. Animals arrive when the habitat already exists, and habitat is created by plants. First the plants, then the insects, then the amphibians, then the birds. It's a chain, and we're going to build the first link.
Hello everyone! Today, it's pond planting day. Come on, KK.
We're gonna proceed to put all the different species. Some of them didn't survive. I think they took too much time in the transport.
And also, we're gonna plant lotus plant and lily pads. Lily pads. They did germinate.
Ready?
Also, we're gonna do something with this spot. We're gonna add some filtration material in order to it might help, and also it will help also the birds to drink directly from the water source. It's gonna be cleaner. It's gonna help the plants with the sediment and the fish, so it's perfect. So what we're gonna put here is active charcoal, some stones like volcanic ones. It's gonna help it to filter properly, and also some river stones. So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing, and the results are gonna be in this video.
Without plants, a pond is a container of water. The water becomes murky because there is nothing with short nutrients. There is no extra oxygen. There is no shelter for fish or larvae. There are no emergence zones for the dragonflies. There is no cover for amphibians. And without all of that, the biodiversity we want does not arrive. With plants, the pond becomes a living ecosystem.
It's the time. Wow. Clay is good for water plants.
With plants, the pond becomes a living ecosystem. Plants produce oxygen, they absorb nitrates, they create structure, they generate food chain, they attract pollinating insects, they provide breeding zones for the amphibians, and some attract birds directly that would never visit the pond without dense plant cover. Every species we are introducing today belongs to one of the three groups, and each group serves a different function. We did not choose them for their appearance, we chose them for what they do. Oxygenating plant, flowering plant, wildlife habitat plants. Three groups, three functions, one goal: turning this pond into magnets for life.
I'm gonna place in the description all the groups in which these 15 different species of plants belong to, like if they flower, if they are oxygenating, or if they attract wildlife, in the description of the video. I hope they adapt properly.
Oxygenating plant. These plants create an underwater forest. Hippuris vulgaris. Myriophyllum. Vertical stems rising from the bottom to the surface. They create three-dimensional structure inside the water. Exactly what dragonfly larvae, young fish, and microfauna need to hide and reproduce. Myriophyllum spicatum. Spiked water milfoil. Extremely fine feathery leaves and form a dense mass below the surface. One of the most efficient oxygenating plants. Aquatic insects, larvae use at its breeding zone. Small fish use it as shelter from predators. Hydrocotyle vulgaris, Rotala and Lilaeopsis. Three species that complete the coverage of the bottom and sides. Hydrocotyle forms dense mats. Rotala adds color and mid-level structure. Lilaeopsis creates transition zones between the water and the margins. Together, they make the pond floor look like an underwater meadow. The visible result within weeks. The dragonfly larvae already in the pond will use these plants to hide and hunt. The first fish we introduce will use them for shelter, and the microscopic organisms that form the base of every aquatic food chain will explode intensity. Everything starts down here. Flowering plants. A pond does not just support aquatic life, it also supports life in the air. It is Selacoras, yellow flag iris, one of the most iconic plants in European wildlife fauna. Its yellow flowers in spring are one of the first nectar resources of the year for bees and bumblebees. Its upright leaves provide cover and emergence zone for adult dragonflies as they leave the water. Lobelia cardinalis, cardinal flower. Its intense red flowers specifically attract long-term bumblebees and in some regions, hummingbirds. In Europe, it is a magnet for the most specialized pollinators. It flowers in summer when other resources become scarce. Legemachia nummularia, Mazas reptans, and Seasonstylis coccinea, three low-coverage species that form a plant carpet in the wet margins. They create transition zones between water and land, exactly where amphibians spend most of their time, and their small continuous flower maintain a constant flow of pollinators. Caltha pelustris, Achillea carmica, and Pontederia scordata. Caltha is one of the first flowers of the year, vital for pollinators emerging in March. Achillea attracts hoverflies, which are the key in the food chain of many insectivorous birds, and Pontederia, with its blue flower spikes, is one of the most attractive plants for dragonflies at the laying site. Wildlife habitat plants, Acaras, Carex, and Serpus. The margin structure. These three species form the dense cover that animals need to feel safe around the water. Most animals that will visit this pond never enter the water at all. They live in the margin, in the transition between dry and wet. They need dense cover to shelter, reproduce, and hunt. Virginium and Tifa, the most important plants for wildlife. Tifa is probably the most valuable plant in the entire pond. Its upright leaves are emergence zone for dragonflies and aquatic flies. Its stems are used to breed warblers to build their hanging nests directly over the water, and its seeds are diet food for ducks and other waterfowl in winter. Iris in the margins, the perfect transition zone. Iris creates a dome of partial shade over the water, and amphibians use it to regulate their temperature without overexposing themselves. It is the kind of detail that seems minor but determines whether amphibians choose the pond or the neighbors. If you are fascinated by watching nature respond when you give it the habitat it needs, subscribe to Ray Wild and turn on the notification bell, because here we don't just build ponds, we build complete ecosystem from scratch. And tell me in the comments, which animal do you think will arrive at this pond first? This pond is no longer just water and rocks, it's a habitat. And habitats attract life, not just because someone invites it, because life finds habitats on its own. In the coming weeks and months, what can arrive at this pond without us doing anything more is extraordinary. What may arrive, the least adult dragonflies, the larvae are already in the water. In weeks, they will emerge, use the margin plants to complete their metamorphosis, and fly, and when they are adults, they will return to this pond to lay their own eggs. The cycle closes by itself. Sting cell flies, smaller and more delicate. Damselflies prefer ponds with dense mycin vegetation. The Carex and Dirus are exactly what they need. Amphibians, frogs and toads. In spring, common frogs and toads seek ponds with emergent plants to spawn. The Calfa, Iris, and margin plants we have introduced create exactly the kind of cover that attracts them. If there is a suitable pond within kilometers, they will find it. Insectivorous and aquatic birds, the kingfisher needs clear water with small fish. We have both. Reed warbler need Tifa to build their nest. We have it. Wagtails and dippers use stone pond edges to hunt insects. We have those too. Every plant species we introduced today is a resort for a different animal species. Aquatic invertebrates, water beetles, back swimmers, water scorpions, planarians. The diversity of aquatic invertebrates in a well-planted pond can exceed 50 species in the first year. And those invertebrates are the food that makes everything else possible. Pollinators. The flowers we have introduced will bring bees, bumblebees, hoverflies, and butterflies. And those insects will attract insectivorous birds. And those birds will bring predators. The chain starts with one flower. The animals are not the first step, the habitat is. What we just did today is not planting plants. It is laying the foundations of a complete ecosystem. Every species that enters the water today is a piece of a system that will organize itself, that will attract life we do not control, that will surprise us. This pond is no longer just water and rocks. It is becoming a living ecosystem. And the question now is, which species do you think will arrive first? Tell me in the comments, because we are going to find out together.